Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to Diamond League PvZ. Oh my god. In today's game, we're going to see Space-Time, this is Mooncake's cousin, take on a Zerg player named the Springer. Jerry Springer's son. It's going to get crazy. Let's see what happens. Let's help him out. The way replay analysis work is we help the person that we are analyzing figure out what they're doing already and what could be done better and what maybe is wrong. Stuff like that. So again, we got a Zerg opponent here for Space-Time. Setting up his pylon at the natural. There's a drone coming across the map. Okay, we're not watching that though, but that is something to keep in mind. Okay, that's a little bit fishy. Okay. Probe is heading out on the map right now. Okay, with that gateway first. Now I'm gonna throw something out. Or no, just kidding. Never mind. Just joking. You're fine so far. I was gonna tell you something, but I was like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. So I'm not gonna say it. It literally made no sense. Yeah, you're correct. I don't mind that you did that. Okay. Probe is getting to the Zerg's base. Probe doesn't have a natural. Now, this is a big deal, right? Pretend I didn't see the beginning of the game. Do you know, does any Protosses out there know when a Zerg player is supposed to throw down their natural? It's definitely before a minute, by the way. If they're going to fast expand, it should be a little bit earlier than a minute. Like 53 seconds or something like that on average. Okay. So already, this is fucked up. Now you see that. That is also fucked up. What is he doing? Now, here's another idea. That is way too early. That is way too fucking early to be going to a hatchery. You want to know why? A hatchery isn't going to be done until after 2 minutes. And how do I know that? Because if a Zerg player takes a hatchery, normally, around 50 seconds, they won't finish that hatchery until normally 71 seconds later, which is a little bit over 2 minutes. So, this build already looks fucked. Now, let's talk about some more details about this build that we're seeing here. So you just saw 3 drones leave his base. And you see a pool that was clearly not started very early. This is not a 12 pool. There's not a bunch of lings coming with this. This pool is barely underway. Okay? So, point being here is there's some fishy shit going on. And what the hell... Also, a Zerg player could not afford a pool this fast if they also made a hatchery that's proxied this fast. Okay. Because again, what are those drones doing? What are those 3 drones doing? Are they going to just go attack your mineral line? They could. But the big thing I want you to look at is this dude is cutting corners all over the place in his build. He's cutting corners everywhere. He doesn't have any larvae being spent right now. He's got 3 sitting there. He's got a spawning pool that is not even threatening right now because it's actually somewhat late for the fact that he's not making drones. And he doesn't have a natural. So all these signs point to some bullshit, right? And now you get to his mineral line, and what do you see? Some pathetic looking mineral line. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 drones. You got fucking 15 probes on the mineral line, plus 2 on the gas, plus another one rallying up to the natural right now. This looks like a Zerg player who's running 3 drones across the map to either attack your base or build spine crawlers when this pool is done. That's what it looks like. So I would say the easiest thing you can do, honestly, if I were you, is I would just chrono boost out a zealot. And the reason why is because if the guy attacks your... By the time your zealot's out, those drones should be in your base attacking your pylon or something like that. And then you could just kill the drones off your pylon. And then you don't have to worry about pulling your probes, which is much better because pulling your probes is going to be more expensive than making a zealot. Now, if he doesn't attack your pylon, you should go fucking scatter on your base and find out where the proxy is. Because, again, this doesn't make sense in his base at all. None of that makes sense. And he legit sent 3 drones out of his base in your face. Who the fuck sends 3 drones out of the base? Now, don't also keep in mind, this is another thing to think about. If this was a guy who's like, I'm going to take a proxy hatch and then send 3 drones down there. Number one, it's too early to send drones like that. Because a hatchery shouldn't be finishing until roughly like 2 minutes if it's actually macro focused. And those drones got sent out of his base at like 1 minute 10. Or like 1 minute 13 or some shit. Super early. That's way too fucking fast for a mining proxy. That's awful efficiency. And why the fuck would you proxy if there's no gold base on this map? Is the second question. There's no gold base. There's no benefit to proxying. It just is going to give you weak-ass droning. Because you're adding in this like massively long travel time to set up a natural, right? So it's probably not for mining, if you really think about it. It doesn't make any sense for there to be a hatchery that's... like this would be the only one that could potentially be there, but again, that's way too fucking early. Way too fucking early if he sends drones here to go mine this base right now, right? Because again... he sent those out like 40 seconds before the hatchery should be done if there was a hatchery started there. If this guy is trying to meta you by putting a hatchery at his third first to make you freak out. Okay? So, understanding what you just saw is a big deal. Understanding what you just saw is huge. So you should definitely... your current base on a zealot, that is correct. And now your probe is going around and scouting. That's correct. But now, I would say, if you're scouting mineral lines, it doesn't make any sense. Because, yeah, this doesn't make any sense. There's no benefit. Now, you might be thinking, well, Vibe, what if he took the gas instead at a different base? It still doesn't make any sense. Because those drones were sent way too fucking early. Okay? Oops, sorry. Those drones were sent way too fucking early. Super early. Again, the hatchery shouldn't have even been done until 2 minute plus. And if it's proxied, maybe like 2:10, 2:15, because he's actually having to run to a proxy hatch. So it actually fucks the economy up even more for Zerg if he's going to proxy hatch a mineral line. So it doesn't make any sense if you're looking for proxy for a base. I would say you should definitely be looking at your third and at your third. Because what can happen, what you should be afraid of, is a proxy aggressive hatchery. Because of the timings of all of it. The timings are way too fucking fast for a macro build. And it doesn't make... seriously, you have to really believe... even... think about it for a second, okay? Think about this. This is where I feel like people don't fully understand StarCraft and what... when you get good at efficiency, then you understand this concept. If somebody were to ask, Vibe... is this Zerg player proxying a hatchery to mine minerals from? Like, is he proxying top right now? I would say no. I knew it was proxy because I saw the drones. I agree with that, Bad Manner. I know you saw the drones, and I'm glad you're looking for a proxy hatchery. But I don't like that you're looking for a proxy hatchery at bases, like over here. Like, I don't know what this probe is doing. And if you're scouting for, like, if you're scouting this for the purpose of seeing if he's got a base here, it doesn't make any sense. Because even if you were wrong and he did take this base, his build is so inefficient that even if your build is just standard and efficient and his build is super inefficient like this because there's no benefit to doing that, you're still ahead. No matter what you really... as long as you don't do something super fucking silly. Now, here's where you went wrong in your response, in my opinion. You went double gateway before Nexus. You also went core before Nexus. And I don't like that, personally. Core is like medium to me. Like, that's like interchangeable. It's like, okay, it's okay. Not the greatest, not the worst. It could go either way. But I hate that you made 2 gateways before a Nexus, though. And the reason why is because think about this for a second. Why did you freak out and make your second gateway so fast? What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of Zerglings running in your base? Because the only way this would have made sense to make a second gateway is if when you got into his base, that pool was done and lings were already being made. That's the only way that would have made sense to make your wall. You have to realize when you're in his base, this is a question, okay? Where I would say this is where a lot of people don't understand. They don't really understand what is capable of their opponent. And think about this for Think about this for a second. Think about this. You get into his base at 112. Can you estimate around what time this Zerg can attack you with Zerglings right now? Because if you can't, that's a problem for you, and you should start learning that. There are 3 things you need to estimate with time. Number 1, how long does it take to build a spawning pool? Number 2, how long does it take to build a Zergling? And number 3, how long does it take a Zergling to get from that point on his hatchery right there to my natural? And a Zergling is 17 seconds. A spawning pool is 46 seconds, sorry. 46 seconds plus 17 seconds. That's, that's 1 minute and 3 seconds. Just for the Ling and the spawning pool. That's just for Ling and spawning pools, 1 minute and 3 seconds. And then to travel across the map for Lings without speed to get to your base would probably take about another 30 seconds. And that would put you at like about 1.5 minutes. And if you know that, if you can kind of and then now here's the difference though, right? 46 seconds on the, if you know the spawning pool's build time is 46 seconds and you go, spawning pool looks like it's about maybe like 10% of the way done. Maybe like even like 15% of the way done. Okay, let's subtract like 10 seconds off of that. Just fucking guesstimate it. Be like, 10 seconds off. I don't fucking know. 10 seconds off. Just, again, doesn't have to be perfect. You can just estimate it. Just do your best guess. Because again, if that bar of health above the spawning pool, if that means nothing to you, it means you don't know how to scout shit properly very well. Because that bar should mean something to you. This is time that you should be able to understand. Like you should be able to read that and go, about maybe like 10 seconds. Which is totally fine. And that would mean that if you can calculate, this is probably going to be about 90 seconds till it gets to your base. It doesn't have to be perfect either. You could be like, I don't know, definitely over 1 minute. Then you can know that even if you take a gateway before 2 minutes, or like around 2 minutes, you're still totally fine. I didn't think Lings were going to get into my base right then, though. I thought I needed to do this for proxy and spines. Okay, I got another question for you. Do you know how long it takes to build so, more questions for time, right? Do you know how long it takes to build a hatchery? Do you know how long it takes for a drone to run across the map? And do you know how long it takes to build a spine crawler? And do you know how much money those all cost? Because right now, this Zerg player showed you he's not mining shit, right? So these drones are starting to cross the map. And if I were to ask how long it takes for a drone to get across the map from where it is now to the thirds of your base, the left third and the upper third, about 30 seconds again. A drone without speed, or sorry, a drone runs almost the same as a Zergling without speed. It's very similar. I would say it's going to take probably about 30 seconds to get to either this location or to this location. And if you don't believe me, watch this. Let's speed it up really fast and watch the Zerg's drones. 113 is when you saw it, right? So around 143 is when you should get there. He gets there at 140. He's like at the hatchery at like 144. If you don't know that, you should be more, now you do. And I'm gonna let you know a secret. I'm not just talking about light shade, okay? This is like all ladder maps are like this. The only ladder maps that are not like this are ladder maps like the fucking one that has like bottom left versus bottom right with the slow zones. I always forget the name of that map. Blackburn. I think it's called Blackburn. That map is a little different because it has awkward terrain. It has horizontal terrain, which is smaller than diagonal terrain because of the way the maps are designed. So that one would probably be like 25 seconds, though. It's not even like 10 seconds. It's like 25. It's just a little bit faster. So, yeah. But understanding that it's about 30 seconds is important. Now, think about this too. Think about this. How much money do you have? You spent 100, 250, 325. You have spent 325 minerals in this game so far on your buildings. So at the earliest, your opponent could probably get the hatchery down a little bit faster than you getting your buildings down, only because he's not building drones. But even then, I would assume the Zerg player could not make his hatchery like in the first 10 seconds of the game, right? A hatchery takes 71 seconds to build. Again, we already confirmed it takes a drone to go from where it is right now to go to where it wants to be about 30 seconds. More like 36 if he's going to go all the way to like the mineral line, because we got it to like right there at like 31. So if he's going to go all the way to there, that's like an extra like 5 seconds. And that is a lot of time that has to go by for him to like start a hatchery. So if we think about that, the hatchery couldn't even be done until honestly almost 2 minutes, because he has to run across the map and then build it. So that's like 40 seconds plus 110 essentially, which is almost 2 minutes. And sorry, I said that wrong. I meant to say 40 plus 70, which is like 110, which is almost 2 minutes. I said it wrong. But yeah, what I said at the end was correct. It's almost 2 minutes. So that means that you should be expecting the hatchery to probably finish just under 2 minutes. The hatchery won't even be done until like 150 if he's really cutting every corner for it, which means his all-in is overall going to be super weak, because he's not really building shit as he can. He's saving and spending and saving and spending, which means he's having these hiccups in his all-in, and he's going to have like one attack and he's over. But if you know from what I just said that the spines couldn't even start until probably like 150, and then on top of that, if you know how long it takes to build a spine crawler, and that is like 46 again, it's 30. I always say 46. It's 36. I'm fucking wrong. I'm sorry. I miscalculated. 36 seconds on a spine. That means that at the fucking earliest, spine crawlers would not be started, or not be finished and up and running until probably like 2 minutes and 20 seconds. In front of your base. Maybe like 2:30 even, because it's like almost 40 seconds for a spine. It's 36. And this is also assuming that he can afford this. You have so much fucking time to handle this, is the point I'm trying to make here. So you making extra gate right now, it just doesn't make sense. Because you got to also think about the fact that this guy can't afford all of this. Let's think about costs now, okay? Really fast. Let's think about costs. Keep this in mind. He's mining with a very weak economy, because this already proves that he has a proxy hatch. So that's 4 drones. 1 came off really early. 3 more came off a little bit later. 4 drones, while not making drones, off the mineral line. And you even confirmed that this mineral line looks like a joke. There's no drones on these patches because there's no drone AI mining from them at all. This is sad as fuck. This guy's economy is terrible. And now he's doing 200 mineral cost. 300 more mineral cost, which is now 500. And then another 300 again, which is 800 on those 3 spines that he's bringing over there. And then another 150, which is 950 minerals to make a queen to spread the creep enough to actually get to your base. That is so expensive to do that. The point I'm trying to, this is the point I'm trying to make to you, okay, right now, space-time, bad manner. This is what I'm trying to help you understand. This is a honest, genuine fact. This guy's build fucking sucks. It is so inefficient, and you need to be able to read that and not make your own build inefficient in a response to it. This guy's build is so corner-cutty and weak economy, and it's mistimed in multiple ways. Like, he can't really afford what he's doing. Now, anyways, that's a huge deal as well, right? It's a huge deal to be able to know your confidence level going into the mid game, or like when the attack eventually happens. It's important to know this. Now, going further forward, okay, now we'll stop. No more scouting talk. But the last thing I'll say about the scouting talk is I would really want your probe to scout here and everything in between. Like scout this area, scout this area, this area, this area, this area, this area, this area. Because there's a chance that the Zerg could have thrown a hatchery down right after you left. He could have thrown a hatchery down right after you left. Because you scouted early. Your probe left your base at like 35 seconds in the game. Or something like that. It was fucking early. And that's how it should have been too. That's totally fine. But definitely check around your base to find out where a proxy hatch could be. It could be over here even. And also, here's another, one more thing about scouting. Okay? This is logic right here. This is logical. This is something people don't think about unless you know this. You can already assume he's proxying here. And do you want to know why? Because I saw it in the replay. No, I'm just joking. I'll tell you for real. It makes sense that he's proxying here in this area and not here, not here, not here, not here, not here, not here. The reason why is because of this. The terrain is all equal ground. If you proxy here, though, you have to fucking go up a ramp. And that loses line of sight advantages. And it's also a pain in the ass to put spine crawlers there because you can't root on a ramp. So you have to put a creep tumor like on the like, you know, somewhere on the ramp and then let the creep spread all the way up it. And then finally you can put a spine crawler like right there. Which it is a pain in the fucking ass to proxy spine someone up a ramp. It's not the best idea. So you can already assume he's got a hatchery here because there is no ramp now. He has equal level terrain to just straight up work with all of it on you, which is ideal for Zerg. So you already fucking know he's probably there. Now talking about your build, I like your proxy spine. I really wish you would have moved out with it and poked around. Like your Zealot should have definitely went up here. You should have definitely auto-attacked your Zealot up here. Because the only reason why your Zealot would have wanted to have stayed is because, again, remember how we talked about the drones and how they got across the map by, like, they were left the base at like 113, which means they're going to get across the map by about 30 seconds later. If you're not getting attacked by the time your Zealot comes out, which is much longer than that, your Zealot's out around 148. If your Zealot is not having drones smacking your pylon, those drones are not coming for the pylon because we know that it's about 30 seconds on all maps that are corner to corner, diagonal. So at this point, this Zealot should seriously go scout for the proxy. And if you found it, you could be killing spines as they start and buying time. Now making two Zealots, do not make two Zealots. Do not make two Zealots. I would not recommend that at all. I'm not a fan of two Zealots. Just because, again, you're not fighting Zerglings here. You're fighting some super half-ass spine timing at the moment. You could fight Zerglings later, but this is the problem you're doing to yourself. You are overreacting to his build now by making a second Zealot and making a second Gateway before doing anything else. And now you are actually doing an all-in versus an all-in. You are actually reacting to his inefficiencies with your own inefficiencies. So one Zealot would have been fine only because you could have prevented having to pull probes off the middle line to save the pylon if he was going to make weird ass fucking drone attacking your pylon situation and then have Zerglings eventually come over, which would have been really weird because his pool was so late. Or if it's a spine crawler all in, which seemed more likely the scenario, your Zealot could literally smack spines and you're not going to kill the drones, but you're going to reset the spines where it's like canceled, rebuild, cancel, rebuild. And you're going to reset the spines like once per spine probably. Because the Zealot fucking destroys spines while it's under construction. And that's even if you only canceled like one or two of his spines, still that's even fine. But I would have said there are two priorities here to get through this in a really good way. Number one, make a Nexus at your natural. Because this guy cannot threaten you really fast. Number two, make a Robo. If you make a Robo against someone who does this, you auto win. You could still even beat this guy with one base Robo No Nexus at all, and just make a robo when your core's done. You'd still win. Okay. I'm glad your Zealot scouted. I super glad your Zealot scouted. Makes me happy. I don't like that you scouted south first. I would have preferred you to scout north first for the logic reasons. It makes more sense that he would be north than south because of the ramp. Nobody wants to proxy a ramp. But if you didn't find him north, then go south. And if he is south, just understand that you have such an advantage there. And you're like, this guy fucking proxying on a ramp? Is he nuts? Jesus Christ. Do not like that battery either. Doesn't make any sense. I really feel like you're responding to this like it's mass Ling flood. Yeah, I don't like the overreact. This is another overreaction. And you're spamming chronos multiple times on your gateway. I don't like it either. I'm not a fan. I would say legit. A lot of Zergs rally Lings to help spines. I agree with you, but I don't agree with you at the same time. It's for all the... You got to listen to what I'm saying, right? It's all the things I've been saying this entire game. I do think this Zerg will use Zerglings, but I don't think you understand how fast they're going to come. You are reacting to this as if it was a Ling rush, and it was not. This was a inefficient as fuck spine rush that's going to be followed up by some super slow Lings. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, you are overreacting to what it is. You should just make sure, because again, dude, when you got to his base at 1 minute 13, his spawning pool was only like 7 seconds in production. And like we said, remember the time we had it up earlier? You had like like 90 seconds later until Lings got to your base. And you are fucking freaking out here, heart like crazy. And even if, I'll say this too, even if you were afraid that it was going to be a spine Ling all-in, I do not like that you put a battery in front of your base. If you actually think it's going to be a Ling rush, there is no reason to put your battery in front. You should be putting it behind. And the reason why you should put it behind is because you should actually not be making mass Zealots. You should be making mass Stalkers. If it's spine Ling, you should be making Stalkers. Like, make a Zealot or maybe 2 Zealots if he's doing like a really quick 12 pull. And then you can start making Stalkers after, and you can always shoot him and back up to your wall and get in your doorway and have a really efficient battery and shoot him off the wall. And then if he backs up, you go forward. If he chases you back to the wall, you go into the wall and shoot him. You kite into the doorway over and over and over. Putting your battery out here, all that would do is it gives the Zerg the ability to fully surround it if he was actually going mass Lings and kill your battery. Or it allows him to proxy a spine crawler there if he wanted to and smack it. And you're thinking, I know you're thinking probably, but I can have my units in front of my base and I don't have to go through a doorway and I can just guard the front. But I feel like you don't need to do that because you're super forcing a big fucking fight to happen. Like, you're not using any surface area to your advantage when you're the one who can abuse that pretty fucking hard. I'm not a big fan of the battery. Where you put it, especially. Making it, first of all, and secondly, where you put it. Not a huge fan. Now you start making Stalkers. If you make a robo here, you automatically win the game. You see what I'm, this is the, now he's just fucking your battery up, right? Keep in mind, too, we are almost 4 minutes into the game. And look at what you did. Look at what you fucking did. You put a Nexus down. Bad Manner, I love you. But you expanded anyways. If you're gonna overreact, this is a fact, okay? If you are going to overreact and put yourself into like an all-in versus someone who's all-inning you, don't even bother expanding until you kill his shit. The fact that you built the Nexus anyways, but it was super late, is not good for you at all. Because you still invested into it, but you've gained no benefit from it at all because you didn't take it when you should have, which was like 2 minutes ago. Imagine if you had it 2 minutes ago, and imagine if you had battery behind the wall and it was just one battery and you could have overcharged it. How fucking easy, much easier would this have been to defend all these lings? Super easy, because they're so late. This is not 1 minute 30 lings. This is like 2 minute 50, or not even. This is like 3 minute 30 lings or 3 minute 20 lings, because he just started using them. Super late lings. So here's what I would have said, okay? This is what I would have said if I were you. Genuinely. This is what I would have done if I were you to defend this. After your scout, I would have done this. Right here. Okay, this guy's proxy etching me. Fucking cool. Scout, like, make a zealot, chrono boost it, go north, because it makes more sense. And you eventually went north, and that's great. Chrono boost it once. Just one chrono boost. That's it. Nothing else. If I made a Nexus, I would immediately make a core after. If I made a core first, I would immediately make a Nexus after. You could then start a second zealot when your Nexus and core have been thrown down. And if you get to his base and you see, if you reconfirm for yourself and you're like, okay, yeah, like what, right here. So you could start a second zealot like you are. Do not chrono boost it. Do not fucking chrono boost it. Just start it. And if you see this, cancel that motherfucker right now. Cancel that zealot right now. Because you don't need it. You want to know why I know you don't need it? There's no larva being used, and the hatchery's not even jiggling. There's no queen. The only potential thing you could do is one or the other, maybe. But like I said before, this guy's money sucks dick. Like, he cannot afford all of this. His build is super inefficient. He has no lings and no queen protecting his spines. You don't need to make multiple zealots here. It's just one and done. And why are you making a zealot? What is the reason behind the zealot? If you think the reason behind the zealot is to win the fight entirely, to win the game right now, you're misinterpreting what the zealot is designed for in this particular situation. The zealot is designed for one thing and one thing only, and it's to stall his build. That's all it is. You want to make him slower. That's it. And the way you accomplish that is you make him reset some of his spine crawlers. So if there was a queen being made, or if there was like an egg spawning in that hatchery, I'd be like, okay, maybe you want to have a second one. That way you can overpower whatever comes out of that and also reset the spines. Like at least one or two of them. But what you really want to do is as soon as this fucking core is done, make a stalker and make a robo. I'm telling you right now, one immortal. This is real, okay? Nexus. One shield battery. A wall. One immortal in the doorway. You can shoot back at the spines as they shoot at your wall, very realistically. On top of that, one immortal being backed up by a battery overcharge could probably kill 5 spine crawlers by itself. And that, the only reason why I say probably is because the lings helping smack the immortal might actually make that 5th spine crawler hard to kill if you fuck up your micro with your focus fire, or if your battery runs out of energy and you just stand there and eat all the damage still. It's like one immortal will kill a spine. Every single spine crawler that he makes will die in about 7 seconds and like 7.4 seconds. And how do I know that? Vibe, how do you know how do you know that every spine that he puts in front of your base, if he doesn't like pull it back, will die in like just about 7.5 seconds? Like 7.4 or something. It's because an immortal's attack speed is 1.07 and it does 50 damage, and his spine crawler has 300 health and it has regeneration. So it takes 7 hits to kill a spine because 6 is exactly 300. And if you incorporate the tiny bit of armor, which is 2, that a Spinecrawler has, and the tiny bit of regeneration that a Spinecrawler has, which is like 1 health every 3 seconds, that is not enough to make the difference on that 7th hit, and the 7th hit will kill it. After the Immortal hits a Spinecrawler like 6 times, the Spinecrawler would probably live with like 20 hit points, or like 18 hit points, and then it would die because there would be 50 damage hitting it again, and it would die. So if you can kill a Spine every 7.5 seconds, that's pretty fucking fast. And Spinecrawlers don't poke fast enough to overpower an Immortal. 3 Spines would not be poking hard enough to break the Immortal shield, first of all, and they would not poke fast enough to damage through the shield battery. A shield like these are numbers that you need to know in StarCraft, and they make you really confident in these situations. A shield battery heals for 36 shields a second. With overcharge, it heals for 72. 3 Spines can poke an Immortal for 35, 35, 35, which is 105 in total, but the root time of a Spinecrawler is about 7 seconds. So the first Spine is going to fucking die as it roots in your face, and then you're going to have to deal with 2 Spines poking you for 70, 70, 70 every 2 seconds. A Spinecrawler's attack speed is like almost 2 seconds, so it's a lot longer than 1 for the battery overcharge to just be healing you like crazy. And then it's not gonna fucking do anything to you. And we're honestly just talking about 1 Immortal. You could make 2 of them, 3 of them. You could have Stalkers with Immortal. Like, again, I'm not talking about like mass. You could have like 3 Stalkers and 1 Immortal. You could have 1 Stalker and 2 Immortals, or chrono boost out your Immortals. Like, you could fucking own this guy's build if you just win Immortals. And then if you made a Nexus at like 1 minute and like 25 seconds, or like 1 minute 30, your Nexus would be done. We'll say 130. Be super fair, because you made a Zealot as well. If you made a Nexus at like 130, it would be done at 241. Imagine if you had a Nexus that was finished right now. Your Nexus is done right now. And imagine if this battery was on the inside of the wall, and imagine if this gateway was a Robo. Because you want to know something beautiful? A gateway and a Robo are exactly the same mineral cost. It's just that a Robo costs gas. And look at your gas. You have plenty of it. Look at your minerals. You have plenty of it for a Nexus. If you had a Robo here instead of a gateway, this is also after the fact that you made 3 Zealots. If you had a Robo instead of a gateway here, and let's say you only made 1 Zealot, you could have 790 minerals instead of 590, because you have 200 extra, because you would have only made 1 Zealot. But you could have also made a Stalker a lot faster. And if you made a Nexus here, it would, like I said, it would be done. And you could, if you really needed to, you could turn this into overcharge battery, which would hopefully be like right there instead. Right? Because it could heal all the fucking doorway. And it doesn't need to be on the outside to heal that. It needs to be on the inside so it doesn't die while healing you. This is like putting your support in the front line. Like, imagine if you played Overwatch and you put Mercy, like, charging the point, and then everyone else comes behind her. Like, this is basically what you did. You don't ever want to fucking put the battery in front. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, like, now let's go back and watch your 2 Zealots that died up here. What did they actually do? So let's really pay close attention to your Zealot. So let's watch Zealot numero uno. The big boy himself. You canceled a Spine. You're about to cancel a Spine. Your core is done already. So we'll come back to the core in a second, right? But look, you're canceling 2 Spines. That's great. This Zealot fucking owns. You just bought yourself 36 seconds twice in a row here. Because you just reset his Spines that take 36 seconds. That's great. You also wasted his money. This guy just lost 50 minerals between the 2 of those Spines, having to rebuild them like that. Which is even, it's damaging to him even more because he's got shit economy. Now, what is the Zealot number 2 doing? He smacks once. He smacks twice. He smacks thrice. 4 times. 5 times. And you actually kill the Spinecrawler. Now, that was awful by the Zerg. But even if, hear me out, even if you didn't kill that spine crawler with 5 hits from that zealot, and you ran away right now, and that spine crawler that finishes after the zealot beat its ass quite a bit. Let's say it has 300 health in total, by the way. And let's say when it finishes, it only has like about that. It has like 176 out of 300 because your one zealot beat its ass for a little while before it finished. If you had an immortal, that thing would fucking 4-shot that spine crawler. 4-shot. Absolutely murder his ass. Now let's go back, and then your zealots just die now. You start attacking a spine, and then you let your zealots die to zerglings. And it also like anti-microed itself. It kept targeting different lings repeatedly. I think that was a panic. Spine crawlers don't matter once you have an immortal. Now let's talk about the immortal. Let's really talk about him now. So you prioritize core first. Watch your core. Time. Watch your core. Core finishes at 205. You have enough money for a robo right now. You could also even make a stalker. 46 seconds. 46 seconds would take us to 2 minutes and 51 seconds. Now, imagine, hear me out. Imagine if you had 2 things. A stalker standing in the doorway and a battery behind your pylon. What would these lings do to you right now? Not much, honestly. Not a whole lot. They would die. Easily. Now, what would that spine crawler do to you? That spine crawler would be a little bit more annoying. But you know what you could do against a spine crawler? Heal through it with the battery. If that spine crawler poked your stalker, you know what you could do with your stalker? Back up a little bit into your base. Just back up from your doorway. Just like back up to like right there. And then if lings try to run in your doorway, run back in the doorway. Or, remember what I said about the spine crawler? If let's say that spine crawler was the one that the zealot didn't kill, and he's planting it and it's got 176 hit points, you could shoot back at it with a stalker and heal through that damage with a shield battery. And you could probably drop it below 100 health before it even fully roots, or like right around 100 health, like by the time it roots. And then the spine crawler would start poking your stalker, but you'd heal through it with the battery, and you'd win that fight 1v1 because you could let the battery fully deplete its energy while healing you while you killed the spine crawler. And once you got to 0, you could overcharge it. Meanwhile, you're making it immortal already at 251. You're starting an immortal. Now, here's the thing about an immortal. It's 36. I can't show you because there's no robo, but I can tell you. An immortal has a 36-second build time. 36. And reduce 1/3 of that if you chrono boost it, which means it's now a 24-second build time on that immortal, which means you would have an immortal popping out of this robo. If this was a robo, it would be popping out 24 seconds from now, which is 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Would be your immortal. Now watch this. What does he have at 3:15? He's got 2 spines. He just now got his queen out, and he's got lings. Now an immortal can kill a ling every 2 seconds, and it can kill a spine crawler about every 7.5 seconds. It's like 2.14 to kill a ling, and it's, what is 7 times 7 is 49. So yeah, it would be 7.49. 7 attacks at 0.7 speed after 1 second. So it would be 7.49 for it to kill a spine crawler, and 2.14 to kill a zergling. So you'd be drilling every 2 seconds. Ling dies, ling dies, ling dies, ling dies. Every 7.5 seconds, a spine dies. A spine dies. And again, you would be fucking mowing this down with a battery behind your immortal. You could always make a second battery, or you could just make another immortal and another stalker. You would be fucking murdering him. And this queen cannot transfuse through that, by the way. There is no transfuse energy here for these spines. The reason why is because this guy is a fucking awful build. And this guy cannot afford more than one queen. This guy is broke as a joke. This guy's build opener was really, 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 really cheap. Like, not cheap, but poverty. It was just like he doesn't really have a lot going on. He pulled dudes off minerals way too fast. Your problem is that you're just not making units, and you're also disregarding your wall. And you keep attacking the spine. While, like, you attack this, you sacrificed 2 zealots earlier to smack a spine, and they died. And then you just sacrificed 2 stalkers to attack a spine, and then they died. If you're attacking a spine and losing a fucking stalker to slow lings, you don't want to do that. You just lost 2 stalkers to slow lings. You could have still even won the game if your stalkers grouped up enough to kill the lings, and then you just made new pylon in your main base and made immortals then, or like more stalkers then. You still could have won this. This guy has no speed. Does anybody want to, for fun, proxy spine color rush me as Zerg player, and I'll go Protoss against it? Before I end this replay analysis, I'll ask chat really fast, and if someone says yes, I will add it in. If someone says no, though, I will not. I will do it. All right, log in really quickly. Go, go, go. Let's do it. Let me show you how good Immortal is here. It's actually fucking nuts. What's the build order? If you want to do what he just did, the guy that just played in that game, send one of your first 12 drones across the map, build a hatchery, and then pull 3 more drones off your mining hatchery, and then place spines at them. So hatchery proxy first, then a spawning pool, then pull drones off the middle line. When your spawning pool is probably like 30% of the way done, that would be more efficient than what he did. If you want to do something super similar to what we just saw. And then make spine first, then Zergling, then a queen to spread your creep. That's all it is. All right. Are you in this channel by chance? How do I join? Okay, just left click your name in top right. Well, and I can't do it right now, by the way. I'm making a YouTube video. Left click your name in top left, top right. Left click it. Hit ladders. Grandmaster. Scroll down to rank. What the fuck am I? What was I? 141. And then send me a message and I'll just invite you to a game. And I'll make the exact same map we just saw. Lightshade. You got it, Kimui? Are you good? I can say it again really fast if you want. I don't see you, though. No, I mean, like, message me. Just left click your portrait in top right. It opens up your profile. Click ladders. Click Grandmaster in the same exact spot. Scroll that shit down to rank 141. And then just right click my name and send me a message. Duck Kamui here. That's not you. What? Yeah, it's me. What the fuck? Are you both Bad Manner and Duck Kamui? I'm so confused. Alright, anyways. Okay, well, let's go. I'm so confused. You guys have the exact same name then. Or I just watched your replay and Badminter posted it. Doesn't matter. I don't care. Just proxy spine crawler on me. Let's go. Let's do it. Try your best. Good luck. I'm still gonna scout and everything, like I don't know what's happening. I'm not gonna react until I see it. But the thing is when you scout with Protoss after Gateway, it's so easy to react in time anyways. I'll do the exact same thing that Badminter did, except for once he started freaking out. So far, build's exactly the same. So far. Also, you're definitely getting your value here, Badminter. This is a 25 replay here, and going into this shit fucking hard. It's okay. Okay, so we see no spawning pool and no natural. Definitely looks a little bit awkward, right? Okay, now there's a spawning pool. That's a really late spawning pool. Now let's go check his natural. There is no natural. Okay. Now let's check high ground first, then low ground, and start a zealot. And there's a proxy hatch right there. So we confirmed it. It makes logical sense why we would have scouted that. Late as fuck pool and no natural. Makes sense. We went there first, and we would have checked there after. But yeah, it's all good. Now notice how I'm not freaking out about the wall, right? There's no Zerglings right now. Doesn't matter. Now this Zealot can go over there and be annoying. I can start my Robo right now already. We can make a shield battery and a stalker just to be extra safe. And chrono boost out our stalker. And now we can save all of our Nexus energy for chrono boosting out Immortals and shield battery overcharge. The Zealot's just pounding the hatchery right now. And now make another stalker. And just leave our stalker in hold position on the door. Because at this point now, around 3 minutes, now yes, Zerglings can exist. Zerglings can totally exist now because that pool's been going for a while at this point, and there's definitely potential of lings. And there you go, there they are, right? And now this isn't even a spine all-in, which is okay. Because my battery is in a defensible position that won't die. And I have there is no threat right now for me to feel like I have to leave my base. Why do I give a fuck? I could sit here all day and just make probes and be ahead. You want to know why? There's no fucking natural. This guy is super all in right now, so why would I freak out and have to move out of my base? I don't got to do that. Now let's switch out my Immortal and my my Stalker. Now I have an Immortal in the doorway. And I'm still making probes. See how in this situation, I don't feel threatened because I'm not all in. The reason why you feel so threatened to get shit done in your game is because you're not expanding and you're one-basing it forever. And your Nexus was on par to be finishing, like, your Nexus in the game you played was going to finish, like, now. Like, just around 4 minutes. And then you're going to start probing it up, right? That fucking sucks. That's super late for your economy. Now, we can go like this, too. We can do something creative. If our opponent doesn't ever attack us, we can be like, all right, how about we do this? How about we go into a Warp Prism really fast, and then we make more Immortals again behind it, And chrono boost it again. Keep making probes. And we could be like, you know what? I'm going to put a whole position stalker in the doorway again, and let's pick up these immortals, and let's go over to that proxy. This way my immortals don't die. And there's spines. See how fast that spine died? It's ridiculous. And then Lings will also get absolutely ass pounded. Heal up my immortal. Heal up my immortals again really fast. And then behind this, we can, you do whatever you want. You can make a fucking third base. You could take a lot of gates. I'll just do the gateway route, because why not? Okay, let's do it again. Just knock out that spine crawler. Spine crawler's already dead. And at this point now, it's getting to a point where I would say I'm probably feeling pretty confident that I could just kill his proxy entirely. So let's heal up one more time. And warp gates finishing with all of our gates up here. And now let's just go for it.
New technology researched.
But yeah. I know this wasn't exactly what the last guy did, but the way it felt to defend it would have felt exactly the same. It's putting your opponent in a position that they feel like they're fucked, not you doing it to yourself. You trying to set up batteries aggressively on the outside of your base and make zealots versus someone who's going queen, zergling, spine crawler is a good way to just fuck yourself over, honestly. And now there's like nothing that our opponent can do here to survive what is coming to his base right now. This army is, if you want, here's a prediction. Watch this. 7 minutes. Hey Vibe, your supply is at 102. What do you think Zerg's at? I bet Zerg right now is at 43. He's at 43 supply. That's my guess. 43. And I'm playing this game fucking live right now. You know I'm not cheating. I'm not watching a replay. 43 supply. Was my guess at 7 minutes. Am I going to be exact? I don't fucking know. But am I going to be close to it? Probably, yeah. Because there's nothing he can do because he didn't expand and we did. And now we have this big fat lead because of it. GG. Okay, let's go back to 7 minutes. And see what he was at. My guess was 43. He's at 59. It's a little bit higher than I anticipated. He is making roaches. But either way, the concept is we definitely had a massive fucking army here. We had a unstoppable army because not only do we have units that counter what he's making, Immortals beat the shit out of roaches, but we also have double his supply, essentially. This is really... He's got 22 army supply. We've got 55. This is super scary for him. So, hopefully that helps make sense. It's a weird build because you sacrifice your natural for the proxy. Yeah, I mean, it's super all... Like I said, the build is inefficient as fuck, the way he did it. I didn't like it, the way that Zerg did it. But, if responding the way we responded here would be such an easy way to just break it. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope this helps. This was a live version here. This is definitely a long replay analysis for a like 4-minute game. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys found it informative and insightful. And now maybe as a Protoss player, you will be able to feel more confident against proxy spine all-ins. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Much love. Good luck. And peace, guys. See ya.